It's been a fantastic opportunity for Siemens to let the market know what we're doing, where we're going. The amount of customers we've had coming to our stand has been phenomenal. This has been a huge success for Siemens.
It's been a great show. I've been exhibiting at this show since 1993, I hate to admit, and this has been one of the best years ever. Truly a great show, well worth the money.
We're back for the final day of Offshore Europe. Thanks for joining us. Well, it sounds like things went well on the show floor, but let's check in with OE Chairman Samir Brico for his take on the week's events.
Well, I'm very delighted to be nominated as Chairman of Offshore Europe, and I'm very happy to see that yesterday there were some 14,500 participants passing through the doors compared to 2 years ago when we were 12,000. But that's not about the numbers, it's about actually the buzz, which is you hear it and you see it, and everybody is talking to each other and trying to understand about what are the business drivers and how are we able to create value to each other.
We're here with Paul Ziff, CEO of the Ziff Energy Group. Mr. Ziff, can you tell us a little bit more about your consultancy?
Yes, certainly. We do operations research in 35 countries, looking at how companies can be more efficient in producing their assets.
Mr. Ziff, you analyze producing basins around the world. Can you put the North Sea into context with other areas that operators have the opportunity to invest?
Well, certainly the North Sea is one of the large mature basins. Because it's a mature basin, there are, on one hand, there's infrastructure available. On the other hand, the infrastructure is old and needs a lot of cost to maintain or to decommission. Probably the exciting new part of the North Sea, besides the deeper horizons in Western Shetlands, would be the HPHT, which a number of companies are targeting activity at.
And is there any concern about how the new tax increases might affect that activity?
Yes, well certainly companies reinvest from cash flow, and when a new tax deprives a chunk of that cash flow, it is inevitably going to have an impact in reduced activity. So the most robust projects will survive, however others will not.
Thank you. The tax changes have been a huge issue at this year's show. We spoke with BG Group's Chris Finlayson, who explained to us that the actual tax rates aren't the only item of concern.
In the case of decommissioning, I think it's not so much what has been said as what has not yet been said. The government has said it wants to consult on decommissioning and come back with proposals for a stable framework next year. That has a very negative impact on asset trading. People don't know what they're buying, what the liabilities that go with it are, and also on uncertainty of the economic model for the future. So what we really need is to get that behind us and out of the way.
We're joined today in the studio by Kenny McAllister, CEO of well integrity specialist Brinker. People have been concerned about how the new tax increases might affect their business. Are you worried about those tax increases?
Well, no. The area that Brinker work in is actually mainly in mature assets. So what I like to do is work in fields that are pretty much the same age as I am. So what we're doing is extending the life of the assets that have been in the North Sea and other basins for decades.
Thank you. But the show hasn't been all seminars and sales pitches. There have been a number of events in the evening that allowed people to mingle a bit.
Our relationship is not just about history, it's not just about what we did together during the war.
British Ambassador Jane Owen said that it was a relationship based on the twin priorities of prosperity and security. Owen was joined by politicians and oil execs from both sides of the North Sea at the Douglas Hotel last night to talk about oil and catch up over a glass of wine. Around the world, disputes over oil basins have divided countries, but Norway's ambassador said the North Sea discoveries have had the opposite effect.
Such a strong cultural and historical relationship together, because we had issues and challenges that we had in common.
Well, I think it's had a tremendous impact, both historically and looking to the future. You know, historically it's helped to supply a great deal of the energy that the UK uses.
In the future, Owen expects technologies developed in the North Sea to power industries like aquaculture and renewable energies.
Well, this is our final broadcast from Offshore Europe, but you can watch all of our coverage on the OE and the Upstream websites, and we hope to see you in Aberdeen in 2013.